Hey guys, it's Joey. It's been a while since I posted anything. Haven't really done anything exciting with the truck, so I just want to post and just do videos about my truck. But every once in a while, somebody will send me a message about a product they have or something like that, and they ask me if I'll give it a look. And you know, if it's something I'm interested in, I'll give it a check and we'll do a video on it. One of the things I get a lot of comments and questions about and DMs about is the auto start stop feature on F-150s, not just Raptors, but F-150s in general. They have them. A lot of Fords have them now. Some people hate them. Best I can tell, there's two types of Raptor owners. There's Raptor owners that cannot stand the auto stop start button, and then Raptor owners that don't care. I fall into the second category. Personally, don't terribly care about the option, but one thing I don't like about the auto stop start button is its functionality. If you're familiar with it, you know that you have to turn it off every single time you get in the car if you want to. Now, I've heard people using ForeScan. I've heard people rewiring fuses. I've heard people rewiring the button itself. No, I've never bothered to try any of those options. Mainly, I try to avoid some things with ForeScan because it's not the simplest tool to use and it's not the most user-friendly. But I'm not going to show any. I'm not going to try and fuse anything. I'm not going to try and rewire anything, you know, solder anything on a truck like this. But I had somebody come to me with something that I think might be the trick, and it is an actual Autostop Eliminator. And what I like about this so far is it's pretty much just plug and play. As you can see, it's, you know, plug in, plug in. There's no wire. There's no soldering. There's no, you know, weird wire crap. There's no programming. This is it. It's just this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and install this and see what it does. And again, I'm not offended by the auto stop start, but I don't like the way it functions. So you know, we'll go ahead and hop in the truck and we'll get this thing started and, you know, see how it goes. So just to go over a couple things, what I'm talking about with the auto stop button, we've got it up here. That's your auto stop start button, obviously. And you know that every time you get in the car, when you want to start it, you have to make sure you hit the button to turn it off. And then when you turn the truck off and get back into it later, it's going to reset it back to automatically be defaulted as on. Again, I'm not particularly worried about the auto stop start feature that much, but I don't like the functionality of it where if I set it off, it's going to turn back on again. What I don't understand is the way that the lane assist button here, I've touched that one time months and months and months ago, and I've never had to touch it since. So I don't know why they don't have the same logic, and that's what I don't like about the auto stop start. That's what got my attention when he sent me this. So we're gonna go ahead and start getting it installed. It's not complicated at all. It shouldn't be complicated at all. I'll tell you one thing though, the scariest part about this probably will be taking off this bezel right here, which I call it the snack tray. You're gonna have to pull this guy up and out. It's held in with retention clips, just sort of like this frame right here is as well. So if you're like me, I'm a big guy. I'm always scared I'm gonna tear something up when I'm trying to pull it. So I'm just gonna kind of give this a little bit of work and try and pull this guy out, and we'll see how easy it comes out. And then we've got a couple of screws in here we got to do, pull this bezel out, and then we can get to the actual button itself and do what we got to do and get it going. Also, this guy's it's a TRL Automotive's. One thing that's also kind of nice about this is it does have a really nice illustrated walkthrough process, which, I mean, it pretty much doesn't get much. It doesn't get much easier than this, guys. It's like, you know, just step by step, get through it and get it done, etc. So, you know, looks simple enough. You know, we're not in the fuse box or anything weird, so we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to pull this bezel out, and hopefully not tear up my truck. You know, we'll do our best to not do that. All right, let's see if we can pull this bezel out without tearing the truck apart. All right, that is a lot tighter than I expected it to be. So and I don't want to use anything to pry it because I don't want to put any pressure on the frame. So there we go. Whew. All right, so first step on this, I'll tell you right now, that is kind of scary. As you can see, I'll show you these clips. As you can see, those white 3 clips in here, that's what's holding it in place, and they're terrifying, honestly, to pull out, because I'm a big guy, so I'm always worried I'm going to break something when I do things like that. But you know, we're all good so far. So anyway, we got that far. You know, that's a little victory. Inside here, there's a 7mm screw. There's 2 of them. So we got our tiny little socket wrench friend that we got from Lowe's. We'll go ahead and get in here and get these going. It's bumping my. Also watch yourself so you don't scratch the bezel outside while you're doing this. You don't have there's not a lot of room in here to work with. Probably gonna get these loose and then hand them the rest of the way. Yeah, just do that. Well, I need some more. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this, I don't blame you. You know, see if you got a buddy that's more, it's a little more handy with tools and car stuff, and you know, something like that. Just because I don't want you guys to get in here and start trying to jack with this, and you know, snap your bezel or break this tray or break a retention clip or you know, something like that. Then you're at the dealership, you know, trying to explain why you need new bezels, you know, and potentially having to pay for them. But almost got these are kind of long screws. Plus this socket wrench does not seem to be doing. There it goes, there's one. All right, so we got one out. Throw it up in the snack tray to keep it. There we go. Now we got 2 out. So we're good there. All right. Roll the window down here. So now we got 2 out. So we got this. Now the next part, which is probably just as scary as pulling this top part, is we've got to pull this bottom bezel out next. So let me get this thing turned off. Okay, so next we got to pop this guy out, which is which is like number 3, detached front bezel. You can see he's kind of got his hands in there pretty good. So I watched him do the video of this also, totally cheated. But I mean, all right, well, I just pulled a little bit, popped it out there. Now you need to come down and pop the sides out a bit. And you can come down to the bottom and we'll pull up the, what the hell is that? Is it Canadian? All right, so we're gonna close our snack tray at the bottom here just to get some room to try and get this bottom piece of the bezel popped out. All right, so again, that's scary. I mean, this truck's expensive, so it kind of freaks me out a little bit snatching pieces out of a car like this. But I'm in, and around the back here, I'll see if I can get the camera around the back here. There's your that green guy is your auto stop start switch guy. So we're going to pull him, and then we're going to put the bypass on and get this going. I need to know how he plugs in. Clean side, or I have to go around real quick so I can't see it. I don't want to tear at this thing too much. All right, let's see. We just popped in. Oh yeah, here it is. There's this tiny little black retention clip that, there we go. Now we got this guy out. Make sure you guys can see that. The clip's out there. There's a tiny retention clip on this one side right here that pops out. So next up, we take our adapter. Adapter has a matching side here. Boom, we're in. And we're gonna go back to this guy, into the thing, plug it in. Next thing you gotta do is you kinda gotta find a place to stick this. So I'm just gonna feed it back through the original hole over here on the left, I believe. Can't really see anywhere else cool to put it. So I'm gonna stick it back, try and feed it back through there as best I can. It kinda looks like that's where he's hiding it when he does his. So we're just gonna go with the manufacturer on that. And let me hop back on the other side. And we're back. All right, let's start putting this bezel back together, because it's skeeving me out seeing it like this. So putting it back in, we're just going to kind of find its spot that it pops into place. Get this back up, and then it should just kind of click back in like that. Now, one thing I'll advise doing before we get too far into this is, since we just put this thing in, we got the front bezel on. I probably should have waited a second, but we're going to turn it back on, turn the truck on, make sure we don't get any weird you know, you done goofed, broke your truck. So that's my check oil, because I just did that myself. Yep, check oil, I got it. All right, so far so good. No weird errors or anything. The auto start's defaulted off, which I believe you said that's what it defaults to when you first install it. So crank the truck up, turn it back on. All right, auto start should be on. So the idea here is that when I restart the truck, it should stay on. Let's see what happens. Truck off, truck on. Auto stop start still on. Now, we're gonna turn the auto stop off. Normally by default, the truck should turn the auto start stop back on. Truck off, truck on, and it's still turned off. I mean, let me turn the guy off real quick. That's pretty simple, guys. I mean, and I'm gonna button this thing back up here with these bolts and everything here in a second, but that's pretty good. Again, I'm not offended by the auto stop start feature on Fords at all. I like saving gas. I don't know what the mechanical impact is of the engine turning off and on and off and on like that, all of that is, but I've got factory warranty, so I don't really care right now. But again, I don't like functionality that doesn't work right. And when I've got a lane assist button that I've touched one time and I never touch it again, and I have an auto stop start button that I have to turn off and on every single time I want to use it. That's poor design. And this guy here has, which blows my mind that Ford couldn't do something similar, but this guy here takes a couple of wires, you know, and an adapter and some mild programming probably, and does what, you know, one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world can't do. He also keeps you from reprogramming your car and potentially damaging some other setting and having an embarrassing visit to the dealership to get your memory on your ECU reflashed. You know, and you're not in there messing with fuses. You're not rewiring switches with, you know, soldering anything. Because I've heard people say some really scary stuff about what they've done to these trucks. You know, bypassing the fuse box and bypassing the switch. And if you want to do that, go for it. But so far, this works. I mean, this video so far is like 14 minutes long, plus or minus, you know, I would say 6 minutes to install this once I got comfortable tearing my bezel off. I'm gonna leave it on. I'm gonna leave it on for a while. You know, it's just kind of nice that I don't, you know, if I did for some reason turn it off, I don't have to touch it again, if I don't want to. So again, Autostop Start Eliminator, TRL Automotive. Go check them out. I'll put their info at the bottom here in the comments. You know, this isn't edited. This is, you're seeing this when I see it. So that's pretty good. That's a good product. That's not bad, man. You did a good job. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You know, this is worth it. And also, it's not just Raptors. That's the other thing. It's not just the 2017, 2018 Raptors. I want to say he covers a number of year models of F-150s. Now he will have there are different auto start buttons for different models. So you're going to want to make sure that you buy the right one. But he shows you, if you have this auto start button, click here, and this is the switch bypass you need to keep you from buying, you know, the wrong thing. But so I'll put a link. I'll put a link down in the description to this and to his, you know, Twitter and anything else of his I have. And I'll toss a link to the you know, which one to pick, but we'll get that in there. And hopefully you guys check it out. I 100%. This is unpaid. He just gave me one to try it, and I told him if I liked it, I would do a video, and if I didn't like it, you know, tough luck. But I'm good with this. I'm totally okay with this, guys. This is a good purchase. So we'll get that in there. Hopefully this helps you guys. I know a lot of you, I mean, we talked a lot about this at the Raptor school. A lot of guys complaining about it, you know, and this is probably the simplest way to get it done. And it's approved by me, you know, for what that's worth. But like I said, we'll get the info from there. Thanks for watching. It's almost Christmas. You know, it'll be Christmas in a few days, a week, depending on when I post this. You know, spend some time with family, stay out of trouble, do something for somebody that doesn't have anything. Me and some friends actually got together and bought some kids that lost everything in the California wildfires, some beds that they didn't have. They needed beds, and I've been fortunate, and my friends at work and we've all been really fortunate in our lives and what we have. And just remember, you know, you're driving out, if you've got one of these guys, you're driving around in, like, you know, a $70,000 truck, and this is something that a lot of people, they'll never see it, you know, and they can't even, it's not even in the ballpark of their reality, you know, and you're very fortunate to be able to reward yourself with something like this. And so try to pay it forward a little bit, you know, help somebody else out, you know, even if this doesn't happen. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy beds for people or anything, but, you know, if you can do a little something for somebody, do it, you know, help them out. Because like I said, we're all really, those of us that have things like this, we're really fortunate, and I think we take it for granted. And now's a good time to not take it for granted. So try and help somebody out if you can. Thanks for watching. And if you go to PetSmart or Petco or anything like that, give some sad animals money. Give some sad people something this Christmas holiday. Be with your family and friends. Take care. Stay out of trouble. Try not to die. We'll talk to you guys soon, hopefully. hopefully I'll get something else out with the truck once I find something else to do. Take